In a few minutes. All right, I love you. I'll be in your room in a couple minutes. Like, I don't know, 20 minutes. I don't know. Something like that. I need viewers first. Does that door keep slamming? Whoa. I think that I have people. 0 viewers, 5 viewers. It didn't say anybody's in the room, but it says people are in the room. Oh my gosh, I love technology. All right, I'll be in there in a few minutes. I'll be just having fun for a few minutes, and I'll be in there. I just want to do Spider-Man like a crazy nerd. I'll be in. I love you. All right, baby. Okay. All right, so I guess people in the room. What's going on, Bullet Walrus? Hashtag internet. I'm trying to figure out what hashtag internet. Yeah, maybe because I was like bitching about the internet. I mean, technology has been see hashtag Spider-Man. But how do you know I was going to be talking about Spider-Man though? I think I said last night I was going to go see it. Yeah, that's what's going on, and I just got out of the movie. I just got home. It just ended like an hour ago. Homecoming hashtag Homecoming Spider. Oh my gosh, the freaking critics just shit on it. I mean, critics don't understand what a prequel is. This is like critics seem to like be all super smart. The more complicated the movie is, or the more of a blockbuster, it's like in cruise control. It's easy for them. But if it's anything else, they just don't get it, and they don't know what a prequel is. They expect a prequel to it's summertime and Spider-Man's out, and so it's supposed to be this huge blockbuster, and it's supposed to be like the first one or whatever. The first Spider-Man that came out with Tobey Maguire. Oh my god. Because I was blown away, not because it's like this super blockbuster like Tobey Maguire or whatever, where they were trying to hit all the notes and make it all perfect production and shit, but because the critics did get the thing right. It was, you finally get to see the real guy, the story that Stan Lee wrote was, I don't know if there was a lot of in his there was a little bit, even a tiny bit in the X-Men. But yeah, Peter Parker, exactly. You got to see the real Peter Parker. Tobey Maguire is a great actor, blah blah blah, but you just felt like they're just picking someone that looked and sounded like him to a degree, like somebody who's believable. But I want to see Peter Parker. I want to like literally just walk into that comic and just peek behind the reality of what Stan Lee imagined. That's what this movie does. You're watching Peter Parker, and he's not like acting like he doesn't know shit and he doesn't know how to do anything. Yeah, Iron Man, Spider-Man, bromance, that was badass. Hashtag Spider-Man. Yeah, because you see the one scene in the trailer, and it's like that's not a hug or whatever. Just open the door for you, and you think, well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's nothing really going on, and it can't go really beyond that because it's almost like the actor, what's his name? My memory's screwed up, but who I'm talking about, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. He's just going to show up and just do a little cameo. That's not what it was. I mean, he wasn't like every part of the movie, but he was an essential part of this whole thing. And Michael Keaton is back, baby. Oh yeah, damn yeah. He played it to the tilt. I mean, I'm a big fan of Spider-Man, but as a kid, I was so into the X-Men, that Spider-Man was just something where I could get a comic here, a comic there. I can't explain why. It's something that I really would want to get into and all that. And by the time I got into it, there was cheesy Saturday morning cartoons and shit, which was really cheese, and I watched it, and it ruined it for me in a little way. So I've been getting in and out of each little iteration, but I wanted to see what the fans have been reading all these comics, who've read all the whole series, like what they experience, what Stan Lee talks about when he talks about it, and this movie does it. You're in it. Yeah, it's actually worth going to the theater. Actually, I know I'm probably like over exaggerating because to me it wasn't like the big Avenger blockbuster in your face, like just adrenaline shit. Where the 3D I watched, because I always like the 3D, it just added just enough texture. It wasn't in your face floating out of the screen. But I know IMAX does that right, even in something you think it doesn't. So I kind of wish I went to IMAX for this. But for me, the reason I wish that is because IMAX, um, in my town and where I live, the ticket price is almost exactly the same as going to a regular 3D theater. I know my parents in Maryland, they said they had to pay like $5 to $8 more to go to IMAX. I don't. So I really, for me, since it's almost the same price or is the same price, I kind of wish I did go to IMAX for this. That's how good I thought it was. But I mean, if you like Spider-Man, you read all the comics, and you want to see um, a teenager who's not like some stereotypical thing where they just throw it in your face. Like if you're a teenager, you'll love the movie. If you're not a teenager, you'll hate the movie. But you just want to see like a real person, like growing up and just adult enough to be able to relate to, and but still a teenager, and see him like getting his feet wet and going from Spider Boy, if you will, to Spider Man. That's what it was. And yeah, uh, you know, Iron Man just showed just enough scenes to like really make the movie like the bromance they're talking about, and like the reason why I went on about the comics is because I heard of Vulture and everybody's excited. I didn't know nothing about Vulture, so I'm actually going to research some of it just to see what I probably missed. But for me, it's like I knew nothing about it that I should have probably knew about it, and I got it. I got the whole thing, and bit disappointed because I feel the movie. Yeah, but to see Sierra, what I'm getting at is don't be like fall into the trap that those critics did where I don't know if I'm one of the few people that understands what a prequel is. You know what a sequel is, where you have a big blockbuster movie and the next sequel it's either going to be better than the first, which is really uncommon, or it's usually not going to be as good. um, but a prequel is like it's going to be 1,000 times better than trailer. It's going to beat the promises. It's going to blow any trailer out of the water that it puts out, but it's not going to be as strong as the actual blockbuster you're waiting for. But what a prequel does is it sets up that blockbuster. So with the feeling you got of that movie, where it just is supposed to bring you up to the level where it's just like kind of an introduction to the actual story, and hopefully they really pay off what they promise. Because if when you see the end of it, think about the end of it. If you saw a movie begin that way, like the end of this movie, you would be like psyched, and that's why I'm psyched. Is because I hope they really deliver what they just promised me. Because a prequel is basically saying, okay, we're about to do this huge blockbuster just like we did before, but we want to make sure you really want it, and the style and everything we're offering you, this is what you want. You just want us to push it up a notch. You want us to like really push the adrenaline on it. But this is what you want. This is the Peter Parker you want. This is Spider-Man. We want to make sure we hit all the right notes, even though the orchestra didn't get to that glaring moment that had your adrenaline rushing from beginning to finish. We want to make sure that we end on that keynote and you're ready to go. You're like, yeah, let's see the number two, and that's where I'm at. What's going on, Taijo? But I mean, that's what a prequel is supposed to do. Is supposed to set you up for the real movie. I don't want to say this isn't a real movie, but if you're expecting the blockbuster because it's summer, blah blah blah, and you don't know what a prequel is, then yeah, you're not going to feel like it's a real movie. The real movie is the blockbuster we all want, with this new actor, this new character, and all the things that they set up with him becoming an Avenger. That's the real movie that's coming out. I am in guys, right? I mean, I would do. I love Rochelle, but I'm like when I'm done just talking to y'all and hanging out and just kind of jamming on Spider Man, I'm gonna go over to her room. So I feel like I just watched it and I was like, if there's for me, when I get out of a movie, that's the only time I really can have any energy to talk about it. Oh yeah, no. Okay, so here's what happened, Taijo. So everything fucked up in my technology. My fucking flip phone. Well, it's working now, but it's been fucking up. My laptop. It won't charge anymore. So to talk to Rochelle, we do Skype. I can't do it on my laptop. I'm so used to it. So I got my tripod out, and I try to set it up on my like regular computer, my desktop. I forgot I even had, and so that's why I'm in my study. I don't know. This is like I have a living room and I have like a separate room that I have my computer and bookshelves and all that shit in the desktop that I forgot all about. So I just try to set up Skype and Second Life on that because my laptop won't fucking charge. So that's why I'm in here. That's why I'm not on the couch. Yeah, yeah, guy. She was having all these problems on computers, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to get there and help her and all this. And then my laptop, every night I try to plug into the wall, and it was I kept bending it trying to get it to plug, but I probably was making it worse. and now I can't get the juice. I can't get it to plug right. So when it charged, it kept only going to 14%, and now it's so dead that since it's loose and I have to hold it in to charge it, I can't get it to charge enough to come on. So it's got to be fixed. Um, and yeah, exactly. No, but see, but didn't it, Sierra? Didn't they develop the character enough where you really want to see that character develop? Where it's like if that movie were to let you see a part two right afterwards, like from where it ended, and you get to know Peter Parker enough that you can't wait to see what's going to happen now. The amount of growth that he went through this movie, wouldn't you like to see another 2 hours where he grows that much even more, and the whole thing gets intense and everything becomes real? That's what a prequel is, and that's what they promised me and I'm excited about because I'm hoping they'll really do it. You know what I mean? To me, it's like when someone proposes to you, that's one thing, but are they really going to stay married to you and be faithful to you and not divorce you? So that's kind of where I'm at with this. Pre Spider-Man. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's where it's supposed to start with Stan Lee, so they really got the essence of it for me. And I really felt like I wasn't watching some teenage movies so teenage that I couldn't relate to, or something where you just had some full grown man that was still obviously in your face past his 30s pretending to be a teenager with a bunch of other people in school. I felt like I was really in the school and they weren't making them like they're 12 instead of 15 going on 17. And they weren't making them like they're a bunch of 30-year-olds pretending to be 20. It really felt like I was back in high school and it wasn't overly obnoxious or evil trying to do stereotypes of bullies or shit. It was real enough for me, and I could have took a little bit more depth, a little more texture, and they warned me that the action was not going to get good towards it until the end. So I was prepared. Basically, what they set me up for is I started to realize the minute that it started was that this is going to be a prequel, and so that I wasn't disappointed because for me, as a prequel, like pre to the real movie, it was perfect. If I would have went in expecting big blockbuster, better than Tobey Maguire blockbuster type deal, then yeah, I would have been disappointed. Hot women on what, Second Life? I mean, there's only like one woman in my life, and she's like the only hot woman I even want to even ever even think about or want to think about. Showing pre Spider Man, yep, and Second Life. Second Life is like um, it's like virtual reality, and you can pretty much create any reality you want once you start to get the hang of it. Um, a Logan type movie. Yeah, we're not there yet, right? Because you're talking. They almost did it with the Spider-Man with the dark alien thing, but they made it so silly in a lot of parts, playing BGs and shit, that they kind of ruined it. Um, I don't know. I don't need every character to go dark. So that's DC's thing. That's why I like DC, but I don't like them as much as Marvel's because the only way DC can get a decent thing out of their silly ass characters is to dark them, make Batman Dark Knight. If they don't make them dark, if they don't make the whole movie dark and just keep grittier and grittier until it's almost a horror movie, then their stories just fall flat. With Marvel, the characters got so much depth to them and so much promise to them and so much stories are behind it that you don't really need to turn everybody dark to make them interesting, in my opinion. Although I admit I like Venom and I like the whole storyline, I feel like that's icing on the cake. It's not necessary. It's just an extra little thing. And yeah, I wish they would do that the right way and not the silly, shitty way that they did it last time. They did it almost good last time. There was a lot of good parts to whatever was it Spider-Man 3 where they did Venom. They did it good enough, but not dark, not the Logan type thing you're talking about. Um, but no, I mean seriously, that's why I wanted to come on here because what's going on, Miss Michelle Yang? I highly recommend this movie if you've read any of the comics and you really want to meet the actual Peter Parker. Like if you could literally just jump into that comic book and go meet him and get to know what he's about and try to figure out how he just went from a teenager to like taking life seriously and starting to grow up and to be a real hero, a real Spider-Man. Um, to me, that it paid off. It paid off every which way with that. The only thing I didn't love was the reliance on technology that Tony Stark seemed to keep pushing into him. But there's also a little thing to that too, and I won't ruin it for you. And the other thing I didn't love, but I can't help but admit, I got Rick rolled. Y'all know what Rick rolled is? You ever watch a YouTube video and get Rick rolled? Because there's a YouNow on here, and he was in Brett Morgan's room, and he set me up to be Rick rolled. And he's like, yeah, you got to watch the end credits or watch after the credits. And I'm thinking it's either going to be the best or at least it's going to be worth it. And again, I'm not going to ruin it for you, but all I can say is, in my opinion, I just completely got Rick rolled. If you don't know who Rick Roll is, then you'll be surprised. I'm not going to go into any more detail about the after credits, but does anybody ever been Rick Rolled on YouTube? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? You go to a video and it's like clickbait, and it promises you something, and the more it promises, you don't know, Taijo? So okay, you go to YouTube and it has clickbait, and you know what clickbait is, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, but I mean the thing is, you enjoy it. I mean you'll enjoy it, but you'll hate it. So I don't know what to say because I don't want to give it away. But um, Sierra, have you ever been Rickrolled? Have you ever like went onto YouTube and it just literally promised something you're thinking this has got to be good, and they just do the what's his name Rick? I don't know who it is. It's a stupid song. Hold on. I'm getting something from my girlfriend. I'm not saying what I got from my girlfriend. I just, damn. Okay. Definitely distracted me. You actually got Rickrolled like several times on YouTube, Sierra? So you know what I'm talking about? So that's all I'm going to say about the after credits. They're so awesome. You got to see the after credits. You got to stay away from the after credits. But you're going to get Rickrolled. I mean, if did you, Sarah, when you got Rickrolled, usually it's the clickbait is so good that I get pissed at it. But sometimes the clickbait's so stupid. I just clicked on it and I just felt stupid, and I've it's okay. I got Rickrolled. It just annoyed me, but whatever. I was a sucker. Um, it sounds like that you didn't really mind it happening to you. You thought it was funny. All right. So then what I say, Sarah, is I'm guessing you're saying that you didn't see this Spider-Man Homecoming yet, so definitely stay for the after credits then. It's going to be the most awesome. Oh yeah, you're just gonna. You got to wait for it. It's going to do everything for you. You did see the Spider-Man movie? Did you see it, Sarah? The Homecoming? I'm trying to understand whether you saw the after credits or did you see the movie? Okay, did you stay for the after credits? Sarah, did you stay for after credits? Like after all the credits rolled? And you got Rickrolled, didn't you? What's going on? You said Sefali? My girlfriend's like sent me a little gift, and I'm like way distracted right now. It's like I can't tell you. I'm just really distracted right now. I mean, I love her, and that's all I'm gonna say. So how you doing, Yusef? Yusef? I can't say your name now. I know, and I just sitting there waiting. And the reason why I fell for it was because as the credits were rolling, they stopped and did the setup scene for the next possible Spider-Man movie with the villain and all that. And I'm not going to ruin that for you, Jose. Okay, that'll work. So yeah, they did the thing where you got to see what the villain was thinking and what he did. I want to ruin it for you because it was kind of cool. And so that was that I love that last little extra scene they added. So that made me think this has got to be the end. When the credits were finished, I was like, oh, yeah, let's see what this is. I just figured that they got to show me something. I didn't know if it was going to be Avengers, Spider-Man. I didn't know what it was going to be. I was like waiting and waiting. I got Rickrolled hard. That's all I want to say. I don't want to ruin nothing for you. Watch Spider-Man Homecoming. Don't expect. I think it's like basically the first Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, was like the quintessential thing that you have to see, but it was so polished and done so perfectly, it was overdone, and the actor was over Peter Parker. It just felt like even though it was good, it was almost like a character. It made the second one for Andrew Garfield made me realize that we really need to get to a character that's closer, an actor that's close, that makes you feel more like you're watching Spider-Man. It's not just about the superhero, but the person, that Peter Parker. That's the important character of Spider-Man. It really is as important, if not more. Again, I don't want to keep shit on DC because it's just my personal viewpoint. But DC, for the most part, is the first beginning Supermans and shit. I just didn't care about Clark Kent. He's just, who gives a fuck? They just made him into some buffoon character so it's believable that nobody would know he's Superman. That's all they did. I liked him, but I didn't love him. I didn't form a relationship that I cared about him like that. Whereas Peter Parker, I do, and now this movie definitely cements it. So the Andrew Garfield one, um, in that way, was better, but it still didn't deliver the experience of just walking into the comic and meeting Peter Parker and seeing his transition from boy to man and becoming an actual hero and being somebody who just a kid to somebody that the Avengers might say, yeah, this is, we want you to see why we want him part of the Avengers. To me, that's what the movie did for me. Um, and the Andrew Garfield thing, it couldn't have done that. I don't think I really don't think it could have done that for me. Never in that movie did I think, yeah, he should become an Avenger. I know who Peter Parker is now. It's more about the romance he had, which was cool because I like that actress, whatever her name is, and yeah, that was the most interesting part, was the romance of that one, because I didn't know much about that romance and how that last one ended, where what happened to her. Um, so I like that, but this one definitely, I can't wait to see what they do with this now. I really can. It's like I have to give them the credit that if they can write it and make me feel this way about it, then they're going to deliver. They're going to the prequel is going to turn into the blockbuster that I want. I have to give them that. If I'm wrong, then we'll go see this next movie with him, and we'll say, "What the hell?" But hopefully, I'm not wrong, because it feels like we're going to really get it. You know, when I first watched Avengers and saw Spider-Man show up in the Avengers, I wasn't excited. It just, it seemed pasted in, and I didn't know who the guy was, and I cared a little bit, but not a lot. It was just, I can't explain it. I wish I would have watched this before I watched that. If I would have watched this movie and then saw that Avengers with him showing up, in fact, I'm going to probably watch it again just so I can get that feeling. That's what should have happened for me. And I'm gonna watch Avengers again so I can see him show up again. So now that I know who he is, now that I've seen this movie, and I feel like, yeah, this. I know who this guy is, and I want to see him, you know, as an Avenger. That's what this movie did for me. It made the little cameo of Spider-Man in the Avengers actually make sense. Actually, make me say, yeah, I want to see him part of it. Because that movie, the Avengers, when he showed up, and I just felt like, because maybe in the storyline of Stan Lee, he became an Avenger, which I didn't read enough comics to know one way or the other that I should be all excited that he might become one. It didn't do it for me, but this movie did. This movie, like I said, if I would have seen this first and then saw the Avengers with him coming in, it would have been a whole different thing. I would have been all excited to see him. That's how good. That's what this movie did for me. So what's everybody's opinion? Who's seen it? Is anyone else gonna see it? I know Sarah said it. Sarah said she saw it. Sarah Sarah was let down a little bit because she wasn't getting the prequel part of it. Um, but I don't know. Maybe from what I said, maybe she gets what I'm saying and might look forward to the next one now. Would everybody think? Did anybody else see it? I mean, because I just came on tonight because I just got out of the movie and I wanted to like go on about it, why I still felt the energy of it. So I didn't really. I'm not trying to, I do want to go back into my broadcasting mode and start doing some stuff. But tonight I just came on just to do this for a few minutes. So I'm like not going to do a whole hour broadcast and try and switch into some deep subjects tonight. Um, I just got the movie and I wanted to share what I experienced, and that's the only reason I came on tonight. Not that I'm not going to come on anymore or do any real shows, spiritual anarchist. But right now I'm just a shitty movie reviewer, just nerding up and just being I don't want to say a fanboy. I mean, like I'm too old to be a fanboy. Really enjoyed it though. It's extremely funny. I mean, that's the whole point. Is because a lot of movies are overkill, and the thing is I was a little worried that Peter Parker was going to be this character that's going to try too hard and just keep trying to push the quips. That's where I feel like Andrew Garfield fell down on the job, where it just felt like, not he didn't fall down, but the scriptwriters kept making it like they're just trying so hard to make him into this the cartoon where he can't stop quipping. And so he was funny a lot of the times, but it literally became his whole character whenever he put the suit on. And I was worried they were going to do that with this guy, and they didn't. They basically showed that his humor came out when he was like feeling positive about helping people, and it made me feel like the reason why his humor is there is because he wants to help people and he's trying to relieve the stress of being a teenager trying to be a hero. And so I realized, oh, that's what the humor is about. It's not just like, oh, here's liners, movies like here's a one-liner. It's not about that. And so I actually got the character. He wasn't just being overly humorous to try and be like, oh yeah, that's a funny Spider-Man character. He just constantly cracks jokes, because that's what Spider-Man does. That's this only hero that can't shut up and make silly, what do you call it, cheesy jokes. They didn't do that. They didn't overdo that. And they made it like part of his humor, part of his personality, like he's a real person. And I like that a lot. Made me care about him as a person. And his romance part of it wasn't overdone. Yeah, to me, it was gold. That's what I feel. As a prequel. Gonna get off here? Yeah, Sierra. Thank you for stopping in, because I only came in really to just go on about Spider-Man, because I was like really pleasantly surprised. Spider-Woman's 2019. Damn, Spider-Woman's so cool shit. I hope from after seeing this movie, I got high hopes for that. I wasn't even thinking about that. Probably because I don't know about anything for 2019. I haven't looked into the years that far. But yeah, I would look forward to that for sure. All right, Sarah, you have a good night too. Like I said, thank you for stopping in. You've always been really supportive of me, and I'm glad you enjoyed the movie, and I hope I gave you some perspective, so you're a little bit less disappointed, so you know what a prequel is, and you'll know, like, when you see stuff like that's what's going on. If you ever see a review, like a review go look at the YouTube reviews where they said, oh, it was this and all, they loved it and they wanted to give it a B, but then they had a little complaints. You're like, well, why'd you give it a B then? That's usually a sign that you're watching a prequel. And then when you watch it and you see that they barely developed the character and by the time they develop, the credits already roll. Again, that's another sign of a prequel. If you know it's a prequel coming up before you walk in, then you're going to be able to enjoy it more. All right, so I will sit here and talk for a few minutes about it if anybody wants to. If not, I kind of just said my thing. And, I'm going to go over to Rochelle's room and you can just follow me over there. I think we pretty much talked about it. I had my fun. I hope y'all had fun. Again, I will probably be doing some more broadcasting. It's just getting intense because I'm starting to pack. I got to pack my shit. I got to be ready. I got to get the plane on the 19th. So I can't promise how much I'm going to broadcast because I'm in pack mode. I'm like getting ready for the trip, trying to get my tickets printed out. I'm going to go see Rochelle. So that's what my mind's on right now. So I'm not going to promise like I'm going to do like several hour broadcasts every night. But I'm hoping, we can do a live broadcast with me and Rochelle, and y'all should look forward to that, where we're like actually going to be together, not like guesting each other, but like next to each other. So I'm going to go to Rochelle's room. Y'all have a good night. Anybody want to come over? Happy. Please come over. Please come over to Rochelle's room and say hi. If you got a free spin, give it to her, please. And I'm going to be over in Rochelle's room, and y'all have a good night. You're invited over if you're still up, if you want to come over. I'm inviting you. All right. Y'all have a good night. Going over to Rochelle right now. Yeah, thank you, Board Walrus. Thank everybody for coming to our room and just hanging out with me and let me nerd out about Spider-Man. And I'll see y'all in a minute if you're coming over. Peace out.